Hello everyone, today I'll continue with DCKO with Titans number 30 where Cyborg fights against Swamp Thing. I'm mostly be talking about Cyborg fights, so wherever going on in other scenes doesn't matter. The story immediately begins with Cyborg already fighting with Swamp Thing using a flamethrower. Swamp Thing easily got Cyborg off him by wrapping him up with some vine. Cyborg is overpowered since he can basically turn his entire body into any weapon that he can think of, and he blasts Swamp Thing with a combination of fire, a sonic cannon, and a blast of ultraviolet light powerful enough to kill every plant life from Seattle to San Diego as he used it on Swamp Thing to win the first round. Cyborg felt bad as he had to do it, but he had to follow the rules if he had any chance of gaining the power to defeat. After getting his fill of mega energy, Cyborg sees every version of himself that exists throughout the entire DC multiverse, as he's now allowed to choose any of them to use in the remaining rounds, including versions of himself that fans had not seen in years. Victor decides to keep his current self as he believes that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Swamp Thing chooses a form that makes him look like a walking red fungus. Shooting some toxic spores at Cyborg, Victor not only dodges it, but he can make a shield mask to make sure that he doesn't breathe in any toxins, and he blasts Swamp Thing with a giant sonic cannon from his back. The fungus Swamp Thing shifts into its green form as he ate Cyborg. Swamp Thing begins to question Cyborg's resolve as he makes it clear that as a living avatar or personification of the Earth, he'll be around forever to protect it because Cyborg say the same, saying as a half man, half machine, he'll eventually deteriorate and die just like everyone else, including the Titans. This provided enough distraction that Swamp Thing used his digested acid that broke down Cyborg to such a level that only his metal face is what was left of him as Swamp Thing wins round 2. Cyborg round 3 chooses this mechanical Shogun looking form, while Swamp Thing chooses to remain himself, but he can create an army of himself from every version that exists. Since this is what I love about powers like his versatility. As Cyborg fights this army, he uses every type of power and weapon of the Titans. Starbolts and Shadow Magic from Starfire and Raven, Screamer Sticks and arrows from Nightwing and Arsenal, Razor Claws to represent Beast Boy, and Unbreakable Bonds to represent Donald Troy. The best suit is to represent his love for the Titans. Cyborg is showing his resolve to Swamp Thing and allowed the guy to let Cyborg win since he just wanted to make sure Cyborg was ready for what lies ahead. Appreciating that, Cyborg kills Swamp Thing, winning and moving on to the next round of the tournament. That is all, folks. Please like and subscribe to the channel for more.